Major League hitters are good. Very good. We know this by looking at the reality that shows us, as of June 25th, 2023, there have been 320,773 home runs hit since 1880 in Major League Baseball. But pitchers have only thrown 23 perfect games in that time span. A no-hitter, where no hits are scored, but players reach base through walks, hit by pitch, or fielding errors are more common, but not by much. Major League Baseball only recognizes 318 official no-hitters, most of which were thrown by Nolan Ryan. Only 275 of those no-hitters were thrown in the modern era, that is, since the formation of the American League in 1901. That gives us a modern era average of about 2.2 no-hitters per year. Inclusive of the playoffs, a Major League Baseball season contains about 2,430 total individual games. So rough math gets us to one no-hitter thrown for every 1,100 games played. With perfect games over 10 times more rare than a no-hitter, you can really start to see how special they are. There have been 13 no-hitters in Phillies history, and Nolan Ryan never played for the Phillies, so that's a lot. If you tried to collect the baseball cards of each of those 13 no-hitters, you'd likely go broke or die trying. Let's try anyway. Charlie Ferguson threw the first Phillies no-hitter in 1885 in a 1-0 win against the Providence Grays. 1885 was just the beginning of the era of tobacco cards, and Ferguson doesn't have a card from 1885 specifically. But there are surprisingly several from 1887, including this Gypsy Queen card, and this Old Judge Cigarettes card, and a Buckner gold coin card. All three are very rare and very expensive. The second no-hitter came in 1898, thrown by Red Donahue against the Boston Bean Eaters, the year after he lost a record 35 games, still the mark for bad pitchers. Donahue played for the Phillies for just 3 years and only has one card, from the 1901 M101 Sporting News collection. You've got about the same odds finding this one as you do one of the Ferguson cards. Moving into the modern baseball era, Chick Frazier threw his no-hitter in 1903 and Johnny Lush in 1906. Frazier was the first no-hitter during an away game, and Lush was the first lefty. Chick got a Sporting Life cabinet card for Philadelphia in 1903, and Lush got nothing. He was only 20 at the time of his no-hitter. There is a 1906 Spalding cutout portrait, which is kind of like a baseball card. He has quite a few cards from his time with St. Louis, most of which were based on an earlier photo of him in a Phillies uniform, so that'll have to do. There are a few modern art cards of Chick Frazier available in the style of the T206 cards, but these are modern reimaginings, not authentic to the era. And then 58 years went by. 58! That's when Jim Bunning, newly acquired from the Detroit Tigers and only in his third month of pitching for the Phillies, took the mound in June of 1964 and decided that no Mets batters would reach base that day. He threw a perfect game, the first in Phillies history and the first in the National League since 1880. Even the Mets fans were cheering for him. Mets fans, showing happiness and empathy. Unbelievable, but true. Bunning's 1964 Topps card is a bit nebulous as it was cropped to not show the Tigers uniform he was wearing. The same is not true of Gus Triandos, who came over in the same trade and is still shown wearing his Tigers hat. The next few years of Bunning cards are easy finds, but the 1967 Topps high number 560, is an exceptionally difficult card to track down. To honor Bunning's perfect game, stick with the 64. Bunning's perfect game was the first of a doubleheader that day. The second game, immediately following Bunning's perfection, was the first career start and first career win of plucky rookie Rick Wise. If you want to know about Dave Bennett, see episode 2 about rookie stars that failed to shine. Rick Wise, though, he was as shiny as a rookie star could be. In 1971, almost 7 years to the day after Bunning's perfect game, Rick Wise tossed a no-no against the Reds in a game where he also hit 2 home runs, one of the greatest single-game achievements in baseball history. 1971 Topps card number 598 is readily available, as are the surrounding 70 and 72 cards. Another 30 years goes by before the Phils got 2 no-hitters in quick succession. In August of 1990, sly lefty Terry Mulholland hurled a gem against the Giants, in which only one batter reached base, on a throwing error by third baseman Charlie Hayes. Hayes blamed first baseman John Kruk for stretching too early on what he thought was a catchable throw. In either case, it took away the perfect game, and Hayes made a brilliant catch of a liner off the bat of Gary Carter for the final out. Mulholland's 1990 Topps card number 657 is a worthless common, so consider finding one with an autograph to class up the joint. Topps issued a 2017 Archives fan favorite auto in the style of the 1991 card, a no-brainer for those hesitant about the authenticity of the signature. Just 9 months after Mulholland's no-hitter came Tommy Green. Green was a rookie in just his 15th appearance. It was the first Phil's no-no outside the United States, as they were playing in Montreal, which also meant that nobody saw it, as the Expos had comically low attendance. Only about 8,000 fans were there that day. For a no-hitter, it was also pretty sloppy. Tommy Green issued 7 walks throughout, but managed to close it out nonetheless. Like Mulholland's card, Green's 1991 card is a worthless common, so seek them out with an autograph for proper commemoration of the sloppiest international no-hitter that nobody saw. Kevin Millwood pitched his no-hitter in 2003, the final year of Veterans Stadium. The vet only saw 2 no-hitters in its full history, Mulholland and Millwood. Kevin Millwood's 2003-era cards aren't anything special, and because he was dealt to the Phils just before the season started, his 2003 Topps base card is in a Braves uniform. Collectors can pick up his 03 Topps Traded or Topps Chrome Traded card number T79 for a memento of that occasion, or the 2004 Topps number 333 Season Highlights insert. In the wake of the 2008 World Series championship and the 2009 pennant, the Phillies kept their foot on the gas in acquiring Roy Halladay after the 2009 season, and he did not disappoint. In 2010, Halladay was a 20-game winner, the first since Steve Carlton in 1982, and the first for a right-hander since Robin Roberts in 1955. Dominant all season, he threw a perfect game against the Marlins just 2 months into his time with Philadelphia. And he didn't stop there. He also threw a postseason no-hitter in the NLDS against the Reds. Just an absolutely dominant season by the Doc. Because of the off-season trade, Halladay's 2010 Topps base card is still with the Blue Jays. The 2010 Topps Update number 100 has him in his Phil's uniform, and the team set sold at the stadium has Halladay in it too. Get both. In 2011, Topps included card 359, a checklist card that features the moment Halladay closed out the NLDS no-hitter. Get that one too. Cole Hamels finally got his no-hitter on July 25, 2015. It was the Major League record-tying 4th no-hitter caught by Carlos Ruiz, and the first at Wrigley Field in 43 years. Cole Hamels was traded to the Rangers just 6 days after he pitched his no-no, a fitting end to his decade-long career in Philadelphia. For those still with us, we left one out. In 2014, the Phillies had a platoon no-hitter against the Braves. Cole Hamels threw 6 innings, followed by Jake Diekman, Ken Giles, and Jonathan Papelbon, who threw the 7th, 8th, and 9th respectively. For baseball card collectors, this one is tricky to pin down. Neither Diekman or Giles got a 2014 base card. Both have 2015 cards. Hamels and Papelbon have 2014 cards and 2015 cards, so if you want your no-hitter set to match, you'll need to go with 2015. It is unknown if any single collector has tried to put the complete Phillies no-hitter card run together. Given the rarity of the early cards, it might not even be possible. For lifelong collectors, though, much of the fun is in the hunt. So, happy hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope for you a no-hitters in store. And tell your friends where they can find more baseball card stories, legends, and lore.